Good.
Yay!
Hi. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about your film?
Great. My name is Liz Franke, and I am a producer on Minor Setback, which is in the one of the Shorts Blocks 4.
Okay. And how long is the film?
The film is like 10 minutes.
Really?
Yes. So it's a great length.
So what is it about?
The filmmaker, her name is Augustine Frizzell, and she is both a friend of mine, and we've worked together on each other's projects. It's based on her own youth, like when she was a teenager. And it's a comedic short film about two teenage girls who are struggling. They're kind of living with friends, living on their own, and they work at a local pancake house, and they're just dreaming of a day at the beach. They it's like their life is a lot more difficult than your stereotypical teenage girl. And so they have this fantasy dream of going to the beach and not having to deal with everything for one day, and then of course things don't go as expected, and their day takes a turn. But it's a comedy, and what I really liked about the film, and in addition to wanting to help my friend, who I believe in as a filmmaker, what I really liked about the film is you don't see very many films in which the protagonists are teenage girls, and then you take subject matter that could be really dark, and you make them more comedic. You see lots of films in which it's male protagonists that are teenage and all the things that happen in a comedic way, but you don't see that with females very often.
Right.
So I like that.
So is it set present time, or is this a period?
No, it's period, but it's set in the 90s. Okay. So it's not like a long time ago, but it's definitely not current.
Okay, so is it in Texas?
It's set in Texas, yes. We filmed in Texas. We filmed in like Irving and Garland, and Texas is definitely a part of it. It was also filmed in the summer, and so sometimes Texas summers can be a factor in movies because it's very specific,
So did you have like period kind of clothing nights?
Yes.
Makeup, the whole
exactly, the makeup, the wardrobe. In one scene, some friends are coming over well, I shouldn't say friends, but friends of friends come over who are owed money, and so they're taking stuff. And so they're taking their favorite movies, which are on VHS tapes. And we got the big TV that they're taking, and like the Atari and stuff. And yes, the wardrobe designer, she was fantastic and got some great clothes that were from that time period, and it really really cool. It was a lot of fun.
So tell me about the actors in it.
We cast here in Dallas. We were looking outside as well. We opened up, I guess, to see so that we could find the right lead actresses. And it was a thing where these two female characters, you want to have to be able to root for them, and they need to be likable, but they have to have an edge. And so it wasn't easy finding the right two girls, but we lucked out. One of the girls, her name is Christina Burdett, and she is from Texas. She just recently moved out to Los Angeles. She had a part in Richard Linklater's latest film, and then the other girl, Ashley Beckel, she is from Louisiana, and she came in from Louisiana, and they were fantastic. The chemistry between them is great. The film premiered at South by Southwest last month, and lots of people commented on their chemistry and what good actresses they were. And then we've got two males that play their kind of roommates. It's one of the girls' brothers and then the roommate, and then there's two police officers. But again, all the casting was done here, and the acting was phenomenal.
So usually people use short films to graduate to a feature. Is there plans for this?
Yes, definitely. Augustine had a short film 2 years ago that premiered at South by Southwest, and it played at DIF called I Was a Teenage Girl. And so this film, Minor Setback, she's always had the idea for a feature, and so we're working on the feature right now. She's working on some rewrites of the script. I will be producing it along with two other producers, Toby Halbrooks and James Johnston, and we're hoping to shoot it in the summer in Texas.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So are you hitting all the festival circuits with this?
Yeah, we're hoping to. I mean, this is the very beginning. It just premiered at South by. Now it'll be Dallas. We've submitted to other festivals, and yeah, we would love to have more people see it, create a greater fan base, and help with the momentum into the feature.
So is there a website that people can go to?
Right now we've got just the Facebook website, which is the facebook.com/minor setback.
Okay.
Or minor setback film, and I'm sure as we go on to in doing the feature, we will create a website for that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think Augustine has a very unique voice. She had a very unique upbringing. She's the granddaughter of a country western singer named Lefty Frizzell.
Oh, really?
Yes, and so she had having a musical family. I'd say she had a very non-traditional, upbringing. And then at times, as she was getting older, like in high school age, at times tumultuous. And so she's got a very unique voice, and I love being able to help another female filmmaker. And then, like I said, it's refreshing to see something that's looked at from a comedic standpoint, even if the topics have a serious matter. It's a lot of times in these types of films, it focuses solely on the parent and child relationship, and it's very dramatic. And she was like, I don't want to do it like that. I want to look at it from a kind of a different angle. So anytime somebody has a new take on something, a fresh perspective, I definitely am behind that and want to further that.
That sounds great. So when is the short airing at DIF?
It's Shorts Block 4, which is going to be, I think, on Thursday and Friday. I guess I should look that up. But I know it's for sure on the first showing's on Thursday. And then after that we will see. And Augustine and I are both actresses and filmmakers. That's another neat thing. You don't see many. I guess you're seeing more and more actresses now start becoming filmmakers, but it's still not very common. So, when I find other female actresses that are also filmmakers, I really like that. And she produced my short film that played at DIF last year, and she had a part in it. And so we work on each other's, and I think that's really special. Having a support system and having other, people that really want to help you with your vision.
Right. So what else do you have going on in the future?
Augustine and I are actually producing a short film that we're shooting the weekend that DIF starts. I know. She's like, she called me and she's like, hey, do you want to produce this short with me when I'm in town? Because she lives in Los Angeles, that's why she's not here. So James Johnston is the filmmaker, and he is a producing partner of her husband. Augustine is married to a writer-director named David Lowry, who has just finished the new remake of Pete's Dragon for Disney. And he has two producing partners, James Johnston and Toby Halbrooks. And those two guys are the ones that are going to be producing with me Augustine's feature. So we're working on James's short the weekend that DIF kicks off. So we've got a lot on our plate. But again, it's good. It makes me feel good that, the independent film world is so difficult. And you do need a support system. And when you find people who you believe are talented, that you want to help, and then it's a deal where you're like, hey, I'll help you on your project, you help me on mine, then that just everybody benefits. I think when people try to keep everything just to themselves, then I don't think people grow as much, And so then you're like, look, I want you to be successful just as much as I want to be successful, and we could all be successful.
You have to network out. I mean, you have to meet these people and talk to them and get ideas. It's great.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
why I love the film community in Dallas. It's just
Oh, really?
amazing.
Oh, and do you find it different than other places?
Well, I haven't really been very many other places.
No, but it is. I think people are really positive, and I definitely know, like, just in the regular world, people here are always very accommodating and helpful to filmmakers, which we really appreciate, and that's why it's so nice to film here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then, yeah, we're building up a pretty good group of filmmakers, and everyone does seem very, very supportive, and you see a lot of crossovers on projects.
That's great.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. We appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time. Again, as independent filmmakers, getting some press and getting some write-ups and having people see the film only helps the film.
Right.
You know, both the short film, because it is in and of itself, and then when you're trying to do something like a feature film, you know.
Right. A lot of people don't have patience for short films because they get engaged in the story and then suddenly it's over.
Right, I know. And that's what's nice about this. It's a great length, and then, like, someone at South by that came up to us after the screening and said, oh, we really enjoyed it. They were like, that was like a romp. And we're like, that's a really good way to describe it. And so it's something that, like I said, there's depth underneath the surface, but it's a lighter, fun, kind of adventure thing. And so I think, and it has a definite beginning, middle, and end. So, you know, I think it's something good for audiences in terms of the experience that they go through.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.